Okay, good morning once again, class. Today we're going to continue our discussion on the use of dplyr. Dplyr is a very important package that helps us clean our data, prepare our data for any analysis on any statistical analysis that we would like to do on our data. There are basic verbs that we have discussed so far. There are other verbs, of course, that can be found in dplyr. This term is not enough for us to study everything there. But the most important ones we have studied, for example, filter. When we want to segmentize, create a subset of our data set by removing rows that are not needed. And in order to remove those rows, we use our columns, we use our variables to set the attribute or the characteristic of our data set that we would want to generate. So we use that function filter, and we've had several examples about this. Then when we summarize, guys, what we're doing here is we're computing for a summary statistic. It can be the mean, the median, the mode, the standard deviation, the variance, or for that matter, any type of numerical calculation. We can use summarize. Group by, we also discussed this last time when we want to consolidate our data by grouping similar factors. So this is usually done for factors. Okay, and then mutate, arrange, and join we're going to discuss today. So let's go to exercise number 3 of our file. We were working on this last time. Okay, exercise 1, exercise 2. Okay, exercise 3. The question here is, okay, how could we identify many flights left for each of the 3 airports for each carrier? Okay, may I once again invite you to recall, guys, ano ba yung data natin? Di ba yung data natin na ginagamit, this is the data set flights from the NYC Flights 13 package. So let's create a summary out of this. Just for us to be able to recall ano ba yung data set na to. Okay, make sure, guys, that you have loaded the packages. The packages are here on top. Ito, dplyr, ggplot2, and NYC flights yung ginagamit natin. Okay, so this is our summary. So we have yung mga variables natin, yung year, month, and day, departure time, etc. There are, I think, if I recall right, 19, no? And so let's just view that, or maybe the structure of our flights. Okay, so we can see here what are the elements of what are the variables of the flights data set. So it's a table with 336,000 rows, 19 variables all in all. You have integers, okay. So you have several types of variables here. Year, month, day, departure time, etc. I won't really go into the details, guys, because we have discussed this already before. So it's just by way of recall, guys, kung ano ba yung data set na to. Let's just run itong library ng psych at saka yung describe ng psych. Okay. Now I haven't loaded the psych package, so this does not run. So we have to load the psych package. And then use its describe function. It's just like the structure function of base R. And we can see here some details about the data flights. Okay, so this is also a comprehensive summary statistics of the variables in our data set. Okay, are there any questions so far, guys? It's just a very quick review because we have discussed this already in the past. Okay, so let's go back to the question here. Let's identify, we're asked to identify the flights that left each of the 3 airports for each carrier. So maybe first let's identify what are the carriers and how many flights were there per carrier. So let me insert here Control Alt I to insert another code chunk. Okay, let's summarize first the number of carriers that left New York City. Okay, so how do we summarize, guys? Gusto natin ma-summarize kung ilan yung mga carriers, no? Sa data natin, let me see, na-view ko ba yung ano? Where's my I don't have a print. So let me first view flights. Okay, so ito yung mga carriers, no, guys. So you have UA, AA, etc. The question is, how many different types of carriers do we have? And then how many flights emanated were coming from these flights? Okay, so how do we do that? So let's create a variable. Let's create an object. Let's say count. So count. Let's count the flights. No? You can use any name, of course. Let's create that object count flights and then alt minus. So that's our assignment operator. And then, as you know, guys, we have discussed this several times before. We're going to use the flights data set. And then, so Control Shift M for your assignment operator. Okay. And then what do? We're going to make use of the summarize function. The summarize function will allow us to compute. Okay, so we said that summarizing allows us to compute. And then let's call a variable frequency, which is equal to n. Okay, so this function n, open and close parentheses, allows us guys to count, no? To count the whatever variable we're using. Okay, but what will happen, guys, if we run this? Pwede na ba to? And then let's have the count flights printed. Will this run? So what are we doing here? We're creating this object count flights, and then we're using the flights data set, and then we're summarizing. Now the question here is, what are we summarizing here? What are we counting? May pinapa-count tayo eh. So if I run this, okay. What does it give us? Could not find function count flights. Actually, this should not be a function. Kasi name ng object to eh. So, pero hindi siya makapag-compute ng ng frequency ng tally ng count kasi hindi niya alam kung ano yung i-count niya. Okay, so what do we do here? there's a missing part of the code here. Anong pinapa-count, guys? So, ipapa-count natin yung, sabi natin, kailangan ipag-group by natin ng group by what? Group by, okay, carrier, no? Okay, so let's take a look at this code. So we're creating this object called count flights, and then itong count flights na to, magsisimula siya sa flights, and then i-group niya by carrier. Okay, let's see. Ayan, thank you, Angel. Yeah, sorry, I didn't see your answer. Angel is correct. Tama si Angel, sabi niya, i-group by dapat ng carrier, and then saka natin i-summarize. So what will happen is that yung flights, kukunin niya yung carrier na variable, i-group niya per different carriers, and then is-sum up niya yung mga flights emanating from those carrier. Okay, so let's run this. Okay, bakit count flights? Andali, ha? Let me see. Nag-dplyr na ba ako? Narun ko na. Could not find function count flights. Wala naman akong function na ginamit na count flights. Let me see. Andali, ha? I-library ko lang ulit yung dplyr. Okay, and then saka ako i-run to. Okay. 1, 1, 2, and then count flights. Ang galit mga muna to. Let me remove that. Baka doon ang gagaling, guys, yung syntax error. Print na lang dito. Okay, so let's run this. Okay, there. Okay, sorry about that, no? Kasi yung sinamarize niya, and then I asked Art to follow this code count flights. Wala namang code na count flights. Tama nga naman. Okay, so these are the carriers. Ilan siya lahat? 16 carriers all in all. And then 16 carriers, ano? And then how was it arranged, guys? Anyone? How was the carriers arranged? 9E, 18,000, AA, 32,000. So United Airlines 58,000, siya yata yung pinakamalaki. No? So this was arranged, if you notice, alphabetically. No? Nagsimula sa numbers and then lahat to alphabetical. Now, what if I want this arranged not alphabetically, but rather I want this arranged by order, no? Either ascending or descending. So I'm going to copy this code, Control-C, Control-V, and then i-arrange ko lang. Pagkatapos natin i-summarize, then ipapa-arrange natin. Okay, let's add this, and then we can use the function arrange. There. Okay, so pag arrange, guys, it will now sort your data. Okay, anong i-sort natin? Yung variable na frequency, kasi dito nag-create tayo ng variable, di ba? Which frequency is equal to, so this is the name of a variable. You can of course use count here. It doesn't matter, no? Pangalan ng variable yan. So let's just use frequency is equal to n. Oops, sorry. So this is the function. Okay, n. All right. So tapos ipina-arrange natin. Sino pinapa-arrange natin? Si frequency. So let's see what happens if we do this. Pa-print ulit natin. Alright, error. Saan ako nagka-error? Error in Bakit? Summarize frequency. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Pag descending yan, no? Okay, pwede yan. John, thank you. Angel, thank you. What if we didn't put descending? Pwede ba yan? Kung arrange lang. What would be the default? Arrange. Okay, ba't siya nag-error? Okay. Group by carrier. And then summarize frequency is equal to... Ay, sorry, ito pala. Okay. Very... isang mali lang guys, no? Isang mali lang. Wala na. Tapos hindi pa niya sasabihin. Ito, no? Unexpected error ito. So hindi ko napansin to. Kasi kanina guys, meron ditong close parenthesis. Okay, so I think this will be okay now. Okay, so it arranged guys the frequency. Notice ang default niya in ascending order. Ascending order yung ginawa niya. That's the default. If you want it to be in descending order, gusto natin makita yung pinakamalaki muna, we can put here descending, okay, and then descending ng frequency and then close this there. Okay, without the descending guys, the default will be ascending. Okay, run natin to. Okay, so sorted na siya in descending order, highest to lowest. There. Okay, so clear so far guys? Pause muna ako, baka may mga questions kayo. Paki-chat naman please kung clear tayo so far. Any questions? Any clarifications? Okay, thank you. Thank you. Now you can just imagine guys, you have 336,000 rows. If you were doing this in Excel, tapos ipapasort nyo siya, no? I-group nyo muna by the carrier and then add. Okay, that will take quite a while. Of course, meron namang pivot table si Excel, so that can be done. But I still find using dplyr a bit more a lot easier. No? So just be familiarized with the verbs that's used in dplyr. Okay, now we go here guys kasi ang gusto natin talaga, ang sabi, the objective was to identify how many flights that left each of the airports for each quarter. What we did was to identify how many flights that left each of the carriers. No? So that's what we did. Ito yun, no? We were able to identify here in descending order which of the carriers had the most most frequent flights from New York City. So pinakamaliit lang 32. I'm not hindi ko kabisado kung ano yung mga itong mga flights na to, no? But these names can be found in another package, no, in another data set sa flights. Okay. So what do we do now? Kailangan guys, kailangan by airport din kasi tatlong airports to eh. Itong 58,665, this accounts for all the 3 airports. So how do we now create a table that natin to. Control C, Control D. So what will be different here, guys? Ano sa tingin nyo? What will be different? How do we now generate an object called count flights by airport, where you summarize the not only the carriers but also the airports? Yes, I see an answer. Yeah, good, Jonas. Thank you. So sabi ni Jonas, ang grouping natin hindi lang by hindi lang by carrier but also by airport, no? So yung airport natin, guys, it's the variable is origin. Saan yung origin natin dito? Where is the origin? Ito to. This origin. AWR LaGuardia. These are the three airports, no? that can be found in New York City. So we don't only group by carrier, we also group by origin. Okay. All right. So take a look at this, guys. We're now grouping by origin and carrier. So summarize yung frequency ulit, and then we create this object frequency, and then i-arrange natin ulit, no? So let's see what will happen to this one. Okay. So here now you have an object called count flights by airport. Then let me access this as a view. Okay, so there are 35 entries all in all, 35 observations. And then, so you have first the grouping of the origin and then the carrier. So okay, so and then the arrangement is by frequency. Yeah. So sorted from highest to lowest. So we can see here that United Airlines, 46,087 flights emanating from Newark. And then EV, 43,000, etc. Okay, so ito yung result na na-generate natin, guys, sorted to by frequency. Now, if we remove, no? Paano kung tanggalin natin yung pag-sort niya? Okay. Pag tinanggal natin, guys, yung arrange ito, what happens? Oops, sorry, Control Z. So let me remove this. Okay, then run this. Okay, what happened, guys? Tinanggal natin arrangement, no? So it was now arranged by origin muna. Tapos by carrier. Okay? In-arrange siya by origin and then by carrier. Tapos yung frequency na ngayon. Okay. Now what will happen, guys, again, if there was a binago natin to, no? Naunang carrier, and then origin here. Origin. Okay, let's see what happens here. And as you guess, guys, ano mauunang column? Mauunang column si carrier. Okay, carrier, and then si origin, and then yung frequency nila. Okay? Any questions so far, guys? Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right. So depende, guys, sa requirement, this can be modified to suit the required output. So very flexible siya. So it will depend on how you group it. Okay, pwedeng mabago yung order niyan. And then it can be, ibalik natin kunyari ito, no? I-arrange ulit natin. You can arrange by frequency. Okay, this time it will be arranged by lowest to highest. Let's run this. Ayan. So lowest to highest. And then by carrier and by origin. Okay. Pwede ba na ang arrangement niyan by origin or by a variable? So let's see. No? What if I arrange this by origin? There, let's see what happens. Okay, so inorganize niya, inarrange siya by origin. Okay, or if you want, arrange by Let's post descending order by carrier. So ang basis ngayon guys, pag-arrange from Z to A yan kung may Z, no? By carrier. There. Nagsimula si Y, no? Tapos W and then V. Okay? So depende guys kung how you want your table to appear, how you want your output to appear. All right? Any questions so far, guys? So let's just change this again. Frequency, kasi frequency to. So natin guys makita yung kung saan yung planes. Okay, I'm interested more in the origin first. Okay. Again, guys, very flexible to, no? Origin and then ano isa? Carrier. Okay. So let's run this. Okay, it will now create a table where first you have your origin and then your carrier and then your frequency. I'm assuming that here we're interested saan ba yung saan bang origin at saka anong carrier ang ginamit ang pinakamaraming flights. So here that answers this question. Okay? So it depends on the question that we're answering. So this model, this output will be excellent if we really try to find out anong mga carriers ang pinakamarami at saka kung saan sila nanggaling, pinakamaraming flights. So UA 46,000 coming from EWR. Okay, so may UA pa rin dito. If we're going to print this, if you're going to view this. Okay, ang susunod na UA is now coming from LaGuardia at 8,000. Okay, so this has been sorted from highest to lowest. Okay, so I hope that's clear, guys, yung paggamit natin ng combination to, no? Group by, summarize, and then arrange. Okay, you can see that with these verbs, guys, marami tayong magagawa. Depende dun sa objective natin. Now, just to remind you guys, may yung package ng dplyr, no? You can get that from CRAN, yung documentation niya. Okay, and here you have, okay, ito yung mga variables na pwedeng magamit. No? Summarize. So may SQL, may slice, no, may select, may scope. Okay, so several variables. What we have done so far is to kinuha natin filter, no? May filter joins pa. May group by, may group columns, may group trim. So there are lots and lots of variables, functionalities that we can use in dplyr in order to wrangle our data. Okay, so let's go back, guys. Okay, so another exercise, let's do this. Saan na tayo? Yung filter naman, anong difference, guys, anong difference ng filter kaysa group by? So, sinabi lang natin dito, no? Na filter picks out rows from the original data set without modifying them. So pag ginamit natin yung filter, it will just choose rows and hindi niya babaguhin. Si group by, guys, ginagamit yan usually in consolidation with summarize. So magko-compute ng summary siya of numerical variables. And hence, meron tayong new values that will be reported. So that's the difference between grouping by and filter. Usually si group by used in conjunction with summarize. And then you'll generate a new value. Si filter, wala. Kung ano lang yung value na yan, yun lang yan. Magtatanggal lang siya ng mga rows na that does not fit the classification. Okay, so let's now go to another verb, mutate. Ano naman yung mutate? Si mutate, guys, ang ginagawa niya, mag-create siya ng panibagong column. Okay, so this is the first time we're going to use this. As I said, guys, si mutate, it will allow us to create a new variable. So meron tayong flights, no? If I want to create another variable, then I will have to use the function mutate. So let's see. So we're going to use the weather data set. And then sa weather data set na yun, mag-create tayo ng panibagong variable na yung temperature is not in Fahrenheit but is in centigrade. Okay, so let's open first. Open muna natin, guys, yung data natin. So let's do this. Control Alt I and then data, weather. And then let's view this. Okay. All right, so you have 24 variables. No, sorry. 26,115 observations. Okay, if we want to get the ilang bang total variables, let's use the structure. So in structure to, okay, 15 variables, yeah. 26,115 observations by 15. Okay, so here you have a variable called temperature. Okay, if we check, guys, details about weather, and you know how to do that, question mark lang, di ba? Let's just illustrate that para ma-recall natin. Okay, the powerful question mark question, help function yan, PR. Yan. NYC flights, weather. So temperature, guys, this is temperature and dew point month isa in Fahrenheit. So Fahrenheit yung temperature dito, no? This is in Fahrenheit ito. Okay? So let's now create another variable. We will call it centigrade, no? Okay, I think I already gave this to you, no? So we're creating same object, guys, still weather. Okay. So kung pareho lang, pwede natin tanggalin na yan, no? If we remove that, then weather pa rin, no? Kasi ang sabi natin dito, yung data na weather, and then we are going to mutate, no? Mutate natin. So let's create a variable called temp in C, temperature in centigrade, which is equal to the temp variable minus 32 and then divided by 1.8. So that's a formula to convert your Fahrenheit into centigrade, or temperature minus 32 times 5/9. If you recall from your earlier science subjects, no? Yun ang ibig sabihin nun. Okay, so let's run this. And let's see what happens. If you take a look at our variable now, tingnan nyo sa dulo, guys. So nagkaroon na tayo dito ng variable na temp in C. Okay? And it's related to your temp here. If we subtract, so di ba ang formula natin minus 32, di ba? Ito. Yung temperature minus 32, then times 5/9 or divided by 1.8. So try lang natin, no? Just to check. So this, Control C, I'm going to copy this, Control V, and then I'm going to subtract minus 32 and then divided by 1.8. So I expect temperature in centigrade to be 3.9. Okay, tama, 3.9. Okay, and notice, guys, yung weather natin, iba na, no? Kasi nagkaroon na tayo ng panibagong variable. If you want to preserve the original weather, then pwede mag-create tayo dito, no? Kunyari, weather 1. Weather 1 to. So this will now be a new object, a new data frame called weather 1. Tapos, ando doon pa rin si weather. Okay, you can do it that way. Or you can, sabi natin, diba, pwede natin tanggalin na lang yan. Kung hindi naman natin gustong palitan yung pangalan ng data frame natin. So let's start with weather and then immutate niya. Ano yung immutate natin? Mag-create tayo ng panibagong variable temp in C, which is equal to the temperature. So maa-access yan ni R kasi we're starting with weather. Nasa weather yung object, yung variable ng temperature. And then subtract 32 and then divide by 1.8. And then i-view natin. And that's what we got, no? Okay. So the question here is, what happened to the weather data frame? Okay, di ba? Nabago na yung data frame natin. Nagkaroon na ng panibagong variable, yung temp in C. Okay, now what if I want, guys, na yung temperature sa pwede ba yon? Is that possible, yung temp dun sa sa variable na na weather? Papalitan na lang natin na temperature in centigrade. Is that possible? Could we do that, guys? In other words, ang gusto ko na itong weather na to, okay, wala tong temp in C. Ang gusto ko lang, yung weather na to, gusto ko lang yung weather, guys, yung itong temp na lang, papalitan na lang natin ng temp in C. Okay, can we do that? So let's try, guys. So let's do this. Control Alt I. Copy natin to. Control C. Okay, so ang ginagawa natin dito, guys, gusto natin ma-check kung pwede ba natin palitan yung temperature, no? ng centigrade na lang, wala nang bagong variable na temp in C. Okay? So, of course, guys, merong temp in C ngayon, kasi di ba yung weather natin ngayon, pinalitan na natin, meron na tayo ditong temp in C. Yan, meron na tayo. But I just want, guys, to replace this. Let's see if we can replace this, guy. Yung temperature na to, papalitan natin ng values niya in centigrade, instead of Fahrenheit. So will this work? Yung temp natin is equal to temp minus 32 divided by 1.8. So let's run this. Okay, so what happened? Okay. Ano nangyari, guys? Binago ba niya? What happened? Andito pa rin si temp in C kasi kanina andyan pa yan, ano? Ngayon, nabago ba yung temp? So what happened to this function? Okay, ano nangyari dun sa mutate natin? Mutate is equal to yung temperature na nasa weather minus 32 divided by 1.8 and we'll call it temp. Nagawa ba, guys? Any comment? Hello? Okay, na-confuse ba kayo sa question ko? Okay, let's do this, guys. No? So yung weather natin, tatanggalin ko yung tatanggalin ko yung check. Structure muna natin sa weather. Kasi bago na yung weather natin . So si weather natin ngayon, 16 na, no? 16 na variables na. Kanina 15 lang yan eh. Naging 16 siya kasi nagdagdag tayo ng panibagong variable. So let me remove, no? So weather, okay, actually we can use dplyr, no? Pero para mas mabilis muna, lahat except negative negative temp. Okay. Kailangan ba naman? Wait, let me check. Okay, may error siya. Okay. So dapat to weather. I'm going to remove minus weather and then minus temp in C. Okay. Bakit? Tinatanggal ko yung... Ay, sorry. So, dapat... nga pala. Dapat ano lang to. Sorry dito ako dun sa... So, minus 16. Okay? So, this is the correct code. Tatanggalin natin yung column 16. Lahat ng rows kasama except yung column 16. Tira natin to. And then you can see now yung bagong weather natin. Okay. Dito pa rin. Wait. What happened? Ilan ba yun? Tama ba guys yung code natin? Wait nga. Structure ng weather. So tama, there are 16 rows. And then isa subset ko ay. Okay. Mali, no? Ang ginawa niya, guys, nag-subtract siya ng 16 dun sa ano. Okay, mali yung pag-subset ko. Sorry. Okay, ang ginawa niya, interesting. Ngayon ko lang na-experience to. I'm supposed to subset okay. So what it did here was nag-minus 16 siya sa lahat ng temp in C, which is not what we wanted. Okay, pause muna ako guys kasi baka nalilito na kayo. Sorry for that confusion. No, you can see here my errors no sa ginagawa ko. Ang ginawa ko, gusto ko kasi tanggalin yung yung last variable dito sa weather dataset. Okay, gusto natin sagutin yung question na yung temperature ba na to, pwede ba nating yan? Palitan na lang natin ng instead of creating a new column, papalitan ko na lang tong temperature ng by subtracting by performing yung minus 32 tapos divided by 1.8 which we did here. Ito yung ginawa natin dito. Here. So, temperature is equal to yung dating temperature minus 32 and then divide by 1.8. Okay? All right. Now, apparently it did not, di ba? Hindi niya ginawa, no? Kasi saan ba ginagamit guys yung mutate? As we said guys, mutate is used in order to create a new variable. So ginagamit natin yung mutate by creating a new variable dun sa original na dataset natin. Okay. So, saan ako nagkamali dito? Bakit malito? Okay. Okay. If I make this yung usual notations subsetting, let me check guys. Whether hindi pa rin natanggal. Okay. Whether subset. Lahat ng rows and then except yung last na column. Okay. So, comment guys kung kasi this is the usual way to remove a particular column in a data set. So ginawa ko na nag-negative 16 na ako. Ang ginawa niya yung negative yung last row nag-minus siya ng 16, which is not the case, no? So I'm missing a function here. Okay, so let me do this guys, no? Ibabalik sa data muna. I'm going to access data again. So this is from NYC flights. So mapapalitan nga yung data natin. So view natin to, view, weather. Okay, so back to the original data to, no? So wala na dito yung temp in C. Okay, so in-overwrite na niya yung dating data. I will have to sorry guys, I don't have the answer now, pero first time nangyari sa akin to na pag nagsa-subset ako, okay, anong nangyayari, hindi niya tinatanggal yung yung row na gusto kong i-identify. Okay, so I don't know why that happened. Okay, so babalik tayo dito guys sa sa function na to. Okay, so we're starting again with weather. Alam natin yung weather, yung original weather na. And then we're going to mutate it and then use a variable called temperature in order to define, which is equal to temperature minus 32 divided by 1.8. And then let's view the object. Now, so ang mangyayari ba niyan, papalitan niya yung temperature na na variable, or will it create another variable called temp? Tapos which is equal to temp dun sa original data minus 32 divided by 1.8. So pag nangyari yan guys, if R performs that, parang magiging dalawa na yung temperature natin, di ba, na variable. So let's try to run this. I-run natin. Okay, ano nangyari? Si temp ba nagbago? Nagbago ba si temp? Guys? Nagbago ba? Answer please. Okay, kanina guys, ilan yung temp? Di ba 3.9? Tama ba? Hello, class? What happened? What happened guys to our temperature? Naging 39.02 siya. Kanina, hindi natin chinek Ulitin natin guys Data ulit, data. And let's make some mental notes. I'm going to revert to the original weather data set. Okay, ang temperature dito guys 39.02. Ayan 39.02. Ito yung original na temperature. This is the temperature in Fahrenheit. Now, sabi natin dito sa code natin, we want to create an object called temperature. Okay? And then this is equal to temperature, yung original, minus 32 divided by 1.8. So I expect 39.302 minus 32 divided by 1.8 expected natin na 3.9 dapat yung yung magiging value ng temperature. Okay, so if we run this, guys, run. Ano nangyari? Did it change, guys? Or nagkaroon ba ng panibagong variable na ang pangalan, temperature? Answer, please. It created a new variable. Anong variable? Jonas? Pero ito, centigrade na ba ito? Di ba? Ito pa rin yung kanina 39.02 din, di ba? Okay, ulitin ko guys ha. Ulitin ko. Let me access the data weather. So when we run data weather, it will give us the original data set coming from NYC Flights 13. Okay, tapos i-view natin. No? View weather. Okay, ito yon, no? Okay, yung mga temperature na guys, these are in Fahrenheit. 39.02, 39.02. So yung first 5, 39.02. Okay, so take note of that guys. Yung first 5, 39.02. Tapos dito, gagamitin natin yung mutate function. Sabi natin yung mutate allows us to create a new variable. Okay? So dito, ang ginawa natin, temp is equal to. So take note, may variable na tayo na temp. Okay? Temp is equal to temp minus 32. So what will happen? Will the original variable temp be replaced by this new value, or will it create a new variable guys called temp? Take note guys, sa temp ang pinangalan natin. Pareho siya dun sa variable name ng existing na variable na temp. So if we're using the same name guys, ano mangyayari? Mapapalitan ba yung original na temp with this value in centigrade, or will it create another variable called also temp? So magiging dalawa na yung temp na variable natin. Yeah, Mark? Okay, so ilan natin ha? Sabi ni Mark in Fahrenheit. So ano nangyari guys? Yung temperature natin pareho pa rin, in Fahrenheit pa rin, no? Tapos, ano nangyari? Nagkaroon ba tayo ng panibagong variable na temp din? Meron ba? Kasi kung tingnan natin yung structure guys ng weather, structure ng weather. Nadagdagan ba ng panibagong variable? Wala, no? Ganun pa rin, 15 pa rin. Okay, so the lesson here guys is temp, yung mutate will not work if you're using the same variable of an existing variable. So dapat ito, so we cannot replace an existing variable using the mutate function. Okay, the mutate function will always generate a new variable. So kunyari, balikan natin yung kanina, no? Temp in C. Okay? So here I'm creating a new variable called temp in C, and it's equal to temperature minus 32 divided by 1.8, no? Okay, and i-view ulit natin sa weather. Okay, run natin to. Okay, so andito pa si temperature, no? Andito pa siya. Yung in Fahrenheit. Pero nag-create na ng, okay, asan na yung wait. May mali ba ako sa code ko? So mutate. Tama naman, no? Temp in C minus 1.8. Bakit ngayon wala dun sa weather? Delete ko na muna to. Aren, run again. Bakit wala yung Time R lang. Okay. Sa inyo guys, may I ask you guys, nakapag-create ba ng panibagong ano? Nag-create ba ng panibagong variable na temp in C? I ran this already a while ago kanina, tapos bakit ngayon hindi nag-run? Weather and then mutate. Okay, tama naman yung code ko. Temp in C is equal to temperature minus 32 divided by 1.8. So this is correct. Okay, paki-chat nga please guys, feedback. Yeah, meron sa inyo, no? Bakit sa akin? Nilolo ko yata itong R ko. Sa akin kasi hindi nag-create. Let me load again dplyr. Okay, then run this again. Wala pa rin. Okay. Sa inyo guys, again, okay ba? Meron? Okay, thank you, Gab. Mark, thank you. Jonas, thank you. Yung sa iba, guys. About the rest, we were able to follow. John, salamat. I don't know, guys, why I'm having a problem. 15 pa rin siya. May mali ba ako sa ano ko? Sa code ko? 15, dapat 16 na to. Okay. Anyway, good guys, meron sa inyo. Sa akin, hindi siya nag-recreate. Hindi ko alam kung bakit. I'm having a problem generating that. Dali lang ha. Okay, for the last time guys, I'm going to do this. Okay, pag wala, okay lang. Importante meron sa inyo, no? You still have to decipher why I'm having this problem. Okay, so ulit, i-download ko si data from data weather. I-download, i-access ko siya. Tapos view, just to check. Okay, so andito yung temperature ko in Fahrenheit yan. Tapos hanggang time R lang. 15 variables all in all. Now, I'm going to use dplyr in order to mutate. No? Ibig sabihin, mutate, mag-create ako ng panibagong variable. I'm going to call it temp in C. Just to names, weather. Tama, andyan naman si temp. No? Okay, si temp. So mutate temp in C is equal to temperature minus 32. So tama lang yung formula ko, naka-parenthesis para unahin siya. And then divided by 1.8. Then close. And then view. So this is perfectly fine. Correct tong formula na to. Pag i-run ko na siya, nagra-run naman, kaso ayaw talaga. Names, weather. Okay, wala siya, walang temp in C. So dapat, kung hindi available yung dplyr, dapat mo may message yan na the function mutate is not available. Okay, anyway guys, what's important is you got it, no? So sa akin, I will have to check kung bakit hindi nagra-run yung ko. Okay, so all right. Pareho lang naman to. Wala talaga. Surprise. All right. Sige, guys, let's move on, no? Let's move on. Bilis ang oras. Okay, now let's compute monthly average temperatures in both Fahrenheit and centigrade. Kaso, I cannot do this kasi wala akong temperature in C. Dapat meron akong temp in C, no? Para mag-group by ko siya using Fahrenheit at saka centigrade. So, I'll give you a few minutes, guys. You do that. Okay? You do that first while I try to address kung bakit hindi ko makita yung yung temp in C. So, i-group by natin siya, both Fahrenheit and centigrade, and then i-summarize natin, no? Summarize natin. And let's call the object, ito na, summary monthly temperature. You know how to summarize, no? Average, guys. Average ang gagamitin natin. Okay, so let's do that. Stop share muna ako. Let me decipher what happened to my R. Magpala stop share. Pause share lang. Okay, guys. Did you get it? Okay, na ano ko na guys, na-resolve ko na kung bakit hindi nag-work yung ano ko. Apparently, so let me show kung may I know guys, ano yung code nyo dito? Meron kayong nakalagay dito na weather. Yung object, dinefine natin na weather. Linagay nyo ba ng weather dito? Could you kindly chat please? Yes, okay. Now that's it guys. I'm surprised. Ngayon ko lang nalaman to, kasi all along I've been using mutate. Hindi ako nagkakaproblema. So let me illustrate to you guys ano nangyari dun sa code ko. So data weather, So ito yung original. Ito yung original na weather. Okay, wala pa ditong temp in C. Now what I have been doing was ginagawa ko kanina, so weather and then mutate. So when I run this, when I run that, hindi ko nakikita yung weather. So I check the syntax ng mutate. Ngayon ko lang nalaman to, na yung mutate, kailangan mag-work siya, dapat may object ka muna na i-assign. Okay, kunyari, so let me call it weather1 na lang to distinguish it. So here I'm creating another object called weather1, and then it's coming from weather and then mutate, okay, yung formula natin, and then i-view ko si weather1. Okay, so if I do this guys, where I use another object to assign it to this output. Yan, so si weather1 ngayon, okay, yan, dyan na siya. Okay, may temp in C na. Okay, so that's what I check dun. Chinek yung syntax ni mutate, So dapat daw merong naka-assign na Okay. So that's good. Doon ako nagkamali. Alright, so ito ngayon guys, paano natin gagawin to? So isa-summarize natin. So meron na rin akong temp in C. So how do we summarize now? Okay, so magsisimula ulit tayo sa weather. Okay. And then, ang sabi natin, di ba? Gusto natin monthly average. So dapat mag-group by tayo dito. Kasi monthly average. Group by month. And then what do we do? Okay, isa-summarize natin ng okay, let's call it mean temperature Fahrenheit, and it's equal to mean so ito yung function natin, mean temp, diba? Tapos ano pa? Comma, and then summarize. Ganun ba? Hindi, comma, mag-summarize na tayo. Tapos, ano yung susunod? Sabi ko siya dito. Mean temperature centigrade is equal to mean temp in C. Close, close. Okay, and then summary. All right, let's run this. Okay, ang daming error, ano? Ano yung errors natin dito? Group by month. Okay. Now, tingnan nyo ito guys, no? Ang nangyari guys, summarize, tas close ko na siya dito, no? So, ang mali dito, yung summarize natin, dapat dalawang sinasummarize natin. yung mean temperature Fahrenheit at saka mean temperature centigrade. So the mistake here is that yung mean temperature centigrade, it's already outside ng summarized function. So dapat make sure na nasa loob siya. Yun. So pagkatapos ng mean temperature Fahrenheit, kasunod naman mean temperature centigrade, and both of them are inside the summarized function. Okay? So mean, okay? So open ito, close siya dito, and then print. Let's see what happens here. Okay, bakit nag-error pa rin, class? Bakit nag-error pa rin? Anyone, guys? Any suggestion? Ba't ako nagkamali, guys? Kasi, okay, this is where we have to be very careful, no? Kasi yung weather ko, guys, wala naman siyang temp in C. Yan, di ba? Doon ko siya ginamit doon sa weather 1. Yan. So si weather 1, may temp in C, meron din siyang temperature. So dapat ang ginamit ko yung weather 1 kasi meron silang pareho, no? So dapat this should be weather 1. Okay? So mga maliliit na na errors, guys, and then it will really affect the solution. Kasi nag-create ako ng isang object na weather 1 na ando doon si temp in C. Yun. Yung sa original na weather ko, wala si temp in C doon. Diba? Wala si temp in C. So no wonder nag-error siya. Hindi niya daw makita si temp in C. Now, ito weather 1 na gagamitin ko, no? So if I run this now, ayan, okay? So yan na siya, no? So ito yung mga months, guys. Month. Now temp in Fahrenheit, temp in centigrade. Okay, may problem tayo, guys, sa August kasi may NA dito, no? So ibig sabihin nun, hindi siya nag-compute kapag may missing values. Remember? So how do we address that? To address that, guys, dapat NA.rm is equal to true. Ba? Just to make sure that it will still compute. Tatanggalin lang niya yung mga missing values. Okay, so na ako. Okay, so let me run this again. There. Okay, yan. No? So month, temperature Fahrenheit, temperature in centigrade. Okay, so this is now by month, tapos nawala na yung error term natin. Okay, and of course, you can, if you want, you can arrange, no? Pwede natin i-arrange to. Arrange by what? So pwedeng kung gusto nyo, mean temperature C, mean temp C. Okay, so if we run this, yan. So yung from the coldest month to the hottest month, no? Month 2, month 1, month 12, ito yung mga coldest month, February, January, December. Okay, tapos yung mga hottest month yan, August and July. Okay, of course we can, we can use descending from the hottest month naman to. Yeah, so this is now arranged from the hottest month to the coldest month. You could have used, guys, temperature F, no? But it doesn't matter. Ganun pa rin yung arrangement doon kasi linear yung relationship ng Fahrenheit at saka ng centigrade. Okay, pause muna ako. Any questions so far? Hindi yata natin matatapos yung ano. Clear ba so far, guys? Okay, thank you. Now, naisip ko lang, ano, di ba, ang ginawa natin, what we did was to first create a new object, a new variable. Insert lang tayo. Now, let's try to do this. Create tayo ng panibagong variable, no? Yung temp in C, and then i-group by natin per month, tapos i-summarize natin. So in other words, guys, i-combine natin dalawang ano na to. Pwede ba yon? Pwede ba siyang i-combine into two? Yes. Pwede. So, ganito gawin natin, guys. Kunin ulit natin si data, si weather. Okay, so original na naman to, no? So if we take a look at weather, guys, temp, okay, walang temp in C, no? Okay, so balikan naman tayo sa original na weather. Ang gusto natin, guys, unang-una, mag-create tayo ng variable na temp in C, tapos i-group by natin per month, and then kukomputin natin yung average na ano, average na ano na temperature in centigrade and Fahrenheit. Okay, so let's do that, no? Summary. Okay, ano bang magandang pangalan? Summary temp C and F. Yan na lang. Monthly. Okay. Right? Let's submit muna. Right. Okay. So ito yung object natin, summary temp C and F, no? Okay, first we're going to create the new object, yung ano, yung temp in C. Di ba ang gagawin natin dyan, mutate, right? So mutate. Ano i-mutate natin? Ang ginawa natin kanina, guys, di ba ito? The mutate, guys, allows us, as quick review lang, to create this object temp in C, but which is equal to yung temperature minus 32 and then divided by 1.8. Okay. So pagkatapos yan, anong gagawin natin? What do we now do, guys? Mag-group by per month na tayo. Yun ang susunod na gagamitin natin. Group by month. Okay. And then what next? After we group by month, what do we do? Diba? Ito na. Isa-summarize na natin siya. So let me just copy this. And then arrange. And then print this object. Okay, so ito, guys, isang code chunk lang, ano? Ginawa natin dito. Let's quickly take a look at this. So we're creating this object. May kulang pa tayo dito. Dapat weather. Okay. Okay, let's start with weather, the object weather, and then i-mutate natin. No? Mutate, mag-create tayo ng panibagong variable called temperature in C, which is equal to the temperature, yung Fahrenheit minus 32, which can be accessed kasi we're using the weather data set, no? Divide by 1.8, and then i-group by natin per month, and then i-summarize na natin. So sa summarize, guys, mag-create tayo ng una mean temp in F, which is equal to the average of the temperature in Fahrenheit to. Dapat i-remove natin yung mga missing values. And then comma, ganun din guys, mean temperature C. So this is another object. And then kunin natin yung average ng temp in C, which we have guys kasi ito, no? Nag-mutate tayo nun eh. So meron na to. And then also remove missing values. And then arrange natin. Okay, it can be via temperature in C or temperature in F. And then print natin. So let's see. Kung pwede in one go. Okay, ano nangyari? Summary temp C and F monthly. Saan ako nagkamali dito? Unexpected symbol in temp C. Temp C. Summary temp C. Wait. Okay. Wala nga palang space guys sa ano, sorry. Hindi inaalaw na may space dun sa name, no? Okay, yun ang mali ko. Okay, there. Okay? So with one go, guys, no? With one go, we were able to generate a table where it was grouped by month, and then meron tayong average temperature in Fahrenheit and average temperature in centigrade. These are computed values, no? Based on month, tapos in-arrange pa natin. Okay, so those are the things that we were able to do in one go. So you can create an object multi-steps, no? Multi-steps. So alamin guys, yung para sa akin ano na I realized na yung sa mutate pala, no? Hindi ko napansin yun eh. Kasi dati pag ginagamit ko sa mutate, I would use a name of the object that will be generated. So kanina hindi ako naglagay ng name. So hindi niya pinaprocess, no? Yung mutate function. Okay. So it's already time guys. Hindi na, at least I'm happy that hindi nagloko yung R, no? Okay, so Monday ulit guys, magkikita tayo. Let me stop share already. Stop share and then end this. Okay, so I'll see you guys on the, sorry, wait. Stop recording ko na muna pala.